I'm growing a new GME position after selling right after the split. I have 13.5 and 16.5 for GME expiring today. The intention of buying shares, is it better to roll those strikes for exercise R? What? Are November, December, January Opex obligations being covered next week? No, August, October, November. December, Jan, Feb, due in February. August, September, October, November. And then December, Jan, Feb, due in Feb. And the rest of November. So November, from November 18th till now would be the other set of obligations. So okay, so the first settlement of the current obligations. This is the thesis. I'll reiterate it for the 900th time. The first set of obligations would have been due November 18th, T+2, right? If that was deferred to December 12th, then the next trade would have been due in the following week, which would have been the ETF rebalance. That week was also a deferral, and it's a separate trade, right? Which can then be dragged out to Jan 12 through 18, which is what we're looking at now, T+5. Now, the obligations from November through now, these are due in Feb, provided GME is still following the F-man cycle we assume it is, right? So these would be due on Feb 17th. Now, if this were to create a run of substantial proportion, right? Obligations do compound, that's correct. Then that could trigger a risk off in positions created from September till now, right? Because I remember some of those positions were closed on October 31st with the de-risking in like XRT or like the ETF, the reg show ETF FTDs, right? But here's where I think that happens. Maybe I can kind of highlight this for you guys and give you a little better understanding. So we got here to the 4 hour, right? And we look at November 18th on, right? Most of those obligations, created between $28 and $15, right? And so a move above $28 would put those accumulated positions through this time period from here to now at risk, right? The obligations created from August through November, that is November 18th. So this period of time, these are created at much higher prices, right? So as long as they can cover those, lower, they're profitable. So if they can cover all of these obligations in this time period, somewhere between our current price and like 30 $32, these will be covered profitably, right? But then after that happens, you also have the hedge from all the strikes from 19 to like 32 going into the money, right? Which then creates, that T+2 effect that we see on Opexes where we get the double top, right? So if we go look here, that's the realization of T+2, right? Because so many strikes went in the money here, then the market maker has to then hedge that, right? Which also causes more buying because there's more bullishness. And then T+2 again, and the market maker has to hedge again, right? And then once there's a sufficient breakdown, they can flip their hedge, and the price will start moving down. This makes so much sense. That's why I think it's kind of the last piece we're missing. Like I think we've fully fleshed out every other aspect of the theory besides how the deferrals factor into it and why some OPEXs, if you look at March is substantially larger than any other Opex going back to like 2021, right? You know what? Actually, 1 second. I can show you that. I can show you how much larger March is compared to the other ones. So if we go back here, right? Look at how enormous March is compared to like November. Like November's almost inconsequential. August's run, even June's run is just a little bit bigger. And think of how much more interest there was back then, right? And there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason that some of these OPEXs are much, much larger than other ones, while some are, you know, very small, like August, where, you know, not a lot of obligations are due. Everything's being settled on time, right? May, August, those are timely settlements. March, January, you know, January 2021, settlement in June, Jan and June, these are off cycle, right? And they're and March, and they're all substantially larger. And that's what we're looking for. RC's buy-in didn't matter. It did cause FOMO, and that helps, but it didn't matter, right? He bought 100,000 shares. Like, it didn't tie up any liquidity that already wasn't there. It's not so first of all, it's not C69 anything. JFresh wrote the DD on that. OPEX in the same period is just coincidental. No, it's not. There's no FTDs. So C69 is irrelevant right now, right? If we run right now, we're running with no FTDs. There's no FTDs ever due during any of the OPEX periods. You're talking about, first off, it's never been 69 calendar days anything. It's different every time because that's how calendars work. That guy just tried quote a DD that you helped research? I think so. I think he actually just tried to pull that off. If we run CC sold to Feb 17, CSP is the week of 12 through 17, sold out to March. Rinse and repeat if we're back on the cycles. Sold to Feb 17, CSP is the week of Feb 12 to 17, sold out to March. Rinse and repeat if we're back on the cycles. Yeah, that's reasonable. Feb 20th is a holiday. Would that cause a deferment? It could. Now, just because those obligations from November to Feb are due in Feb, doesn't mean Feb won't be deferred, right? If Feb has FINRA margin extension deferrals for any of the settlement dates, I would presume that it would be deferred. And then you look to the next OPEX period, and is that deferred or is it not, right? Like, we just had MLK, but MLK didn't defer any of the important dates. Like, it doesn't defer any of the settlement dates that we're looking at, which is a good thing, right? I'd like to refer to you by DD discussing rivers running dry. If we run next week, and we run hard, as far as I'm concerned, the timing and reason for GME's runs have been figured out. There's still more to explore, but at least those aspects, you know, that's the test. No, the DD's not done. There's other stuff that we don't understand still. Reg show on XRT is still kind of a mystery. We understand how it's advantageous for them to do it, but we don't understand why they do it every time. Like, what's the need to do it? If Upstart runs to, we can probably use that info on other stocks also, right? Yes. Yeah, Upstart is kind of our, it's kind of our experiment with, does this work elsewhere, right? Can we use what we're looking at with GME on a broader spectrum of stocks? Because theoretically, what's going on with GME is, not only is it not unique, you know, it's pervasive. I have a theory as to why, but it's super tinfoil. Oh dear God, DM it to me first, because I don't want to hear it repeated ever.